we meet with myself and two or three others meet with Adam Smith, who is now the senior Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee. At this point, he was either the two or the second or third. And this would have been in 2010 or 2011, met with Smith. And Smith says to us straight up, and the only reason we're in there with him is because one of Smith's former staffers is one of the guys who's with us, who's speaking to him. So again, we're only in there because of personal connections, right? And so a guy who had worked with Smith for years gets us in there. We go in, we talk to him. And Smith says to us, he says, I know every time the generals and admirals come in to talk to us, referring to the House Armed Services Committee, they're lying, right? I mean, so here you have a member, the man who's now the chair of the House Armed Services Committee, who 10 years ago is telling us straight-faced that he knows the generals and admirals are lying, and he won't do anything about it. I mean, the way he expresses himself to us, he is almost asking, like, we should have pity on him. So, because he's being lied to all the time, and he's not doing anything. These are men and women who go in there, who testify, and under threat and sanction of perjury, he's willing to tell us that they lie to us every time. Something everybody knows. If anyone's ever watched the House Armed Services Committee hearing or Senate Armed Services Committee hearing, or God forbid, the Intelligence Committee hearings, it is just one lie after another, or half-truth, or exaggeration, or lack of context, or whatever. But, and the third example I just want to give of this, and there are others, but I don't want to, I've been talking for a while now, and Jack Reed. Jack Reed is, I can't remember if at this point, when I go in to see him in 2011, it would have been, if he was if he was the ranking, I'm sorry, because the Democrats were not in power, if he was the ranking member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, or the second, the second highest Democrat in the Senate Armed Services Committee. But anyway, Reed gives me and a couple of my colleagues, again, plenty of his time, an hour and a half of his time. We discuss these things. And one of the things we bring up is the fact that, look, there's a real discrepancy between what you are being told and what's actually occurring. The generals are coming in here and lying. And when we leave, his staffer walks us out, and his staffer says to us, we know, referring to the office in the Senator Reed, we know that there is a discrepancy, there is a dissonance, there is a disconnect between what the generals are saying and what the reality is on the ground in Afghanistan. But we do not feel it is our place to get in between. I mean, so it's that type of what I mean, what you're telling me it's not your place to get in between? I mean, it was over and over again.